I'll share my screen. All right, so you can see gold did a really great movement towards the bearish side. We didn't love it all because, of course, you can see it was against our trade, but it was expected because the candles were moving, without creating much structures. Of course, there are some candles here, but we didn't see clear retest of, rejection candles and all that stuff. Even though I don't believe in candlestick patterns, I do like to see some kind of rejection because that states a clear structure, a clear support system. So we didn't have that, and that was imminent that there's a great fall coming for this. And we did see that there's nothing like because of war news or anything that has happened. This crash is simply profit booking. That's it. There's nothing else involved in this. Now, XAU USD, if you see, it has broken the 4-hour structure. It's bearish now. The 4-hour, mainly the time frame, which we look for is bearish, and the higher high at max, if I consider lower high, is this one. This is the lower high, and then we have a structure down here. This is the lower low for now. But we might see some push down. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So this is a complete unknown territory for us. So far, we knew what we were doing. Now we don't. So, of course, there's no reason to trade because we don't want to trade against the trend. If 4-hour structure is bearish, and if I take a bullish trade on this, that means I'm going against the trend, and that is there is a huge chance that I'll get stopped out because there might be just one structure coming up till here and then moving down. For now, it has stopped, but we'll trade after the price has hit this level, or maybe when it is really hitting this support area where these zones are. Just a second. If it's not clearly visible, I hope everyone is coming from their machine so that it's clearly visible. You can see there is some kind of structure here. There is once price was going up, it stopped here, and before going continuing up, it retested this area. So this is, even though these touches are only two, but this is a structure. We can mark this level. We can also see this on 4-hour how it's looking. Yeah, we have clear structures here, and we can mark this area. Sometimes I mark these areas as a zone. For example, this one. Sometimes it's just a line. I hope that's clear. Right now, chat is not visible to me. Right. Anyway, so here we have a support zone, and if price comes down to this zone and goes up, it's great. Or maybe retest from this area because there are good structures right here on the 4-hour time frame. All this stuff was without much structure. But right here, you see consolidation. That means a good support zone. I hope that's clear. Now, again, there's nothing we can do on gold right now. Next, USD CAD. USD CAD gave us a really clean trade. The fastest trade, it's kind of a intraday thing. We started in around afternoon, and by night, we were done for 1:3. Now, on the daily time frame, it did break the support line. You can see right here. The price did break. It closed below this area, which is clearly stating that this was not respected. But right now, price is moving up. So price is moving up based on the information what we see in history. That's how I analyze my trades. What we see in history is clearly that there is a lot of wicks coming up to this area, this area, this area, and this area, right? When going down and then coming up to retest to move down. Clearly, the daily time frame is bearish. The 4-hour time frame, everything is bearish. Let's check that 4-hour. Okay, it's bullish. 4-hour time frame is bullish, but we'll have to wait for a bullish structure, bearish structure if you want to short this trade. Yeah, yeah, 4-hour is bearish. That means 1 hour every time. Smaller time frames are bearish. Daily and weekly is definitely, sorry, smaller time frames are bullish. Daily and weekly are bearish. If you don't understand how do I decide whether it's a bullish structure or it's a bearish structure, you'll definitely learn this in the bootcamp. So here we can see this was a higher low, this is the higher high, and then here we got a break of structure, and now it's a lower low. This was the lower high. Now this is also a lower high. This is the lower low. But on the weekly time frame, there's a wick right here. We can definitely see a retest right around this area. You can see on the weekly time frame, it's clear how price has this zone where wicks are created and candle move down. But we don't want to enter in a bullish trade, so maybe this trade is not for us for this week. We might see some price action like this next week, and then we can decide to enter. And definitely we'll enter after this area has crossed. Let me see if I can bring up the chat. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll read it here. I'll just put it on the other screen. Yeah. Next, so XAUSD we are not trading. USD CAD we are not trading. We'll just move these pairs down so that we are clear that we are not going to look into them. USD JPY. So these are some confluences. For example, right here, for the last week, I had noted this down that timeframes are aligning perfectly, need a retest on resistance to create a structure. Next, need continuation downside to break the recent low. This is how I trade. I have these things written on the weekend, and when all of this happens, only then I enter the trade. So right here, you can say I didn't enter the trade even though I had expected the moment till right here. This area exactly where you see the wick. So it did do that bearish momentum, but it was not for us because it didn't create structure, it didn't retest. So we'll just remove this now. And right here, I am seeing that you can see this wick is telling us something that this is a retest zone. And right here, we have the weekly EMA. Right here, we have the weekly EMA, and it's also, it has created a huge wick. And if we see the weekly EMA, what happens if price comes around that area? Sometimes we see continuations, sometimes we have a downside momentum, and it's fine for us if we just get one weekly candle because all it takes for a swing trade is 3 days, 4 days. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's 2 weeks, but that's fine for us because we are swing traders. But I see repetition in history. There's a wick around this level, and what happened after that is clear that price went up right here. This is the support area on the daily time frame. Yeah. And you can see the clear retest. Definitely the candle closed right below, but it's fine for us because this is going to be a support resistance based trade. Okay. So the thing is right here as well, you can see daily time frame, daily EMA is right up here. And if we trade for the daily EMA, we might be in a mess because a lot of times price reacts. You can see right here, the price continues from the daily EMA. It continues from the daily EMA. Right here as well, a lot of consolidation on the daily EMA. It pushed right here and it moved up. It pushed right here and it moved up. So daily EMA is a strong support and resistance area. Uh, I think I won't trade a lot of pairs right now just because last week something has happened, like a lot of profit booking, and the market has completely shifted because of the war news. Okay. So you see right here, this is a 4 hour resistance zone, 4 hour resistance and support area. Right from here, you can see price came to this level, retested and moved up. Same thing, retested and moved up. So what happens if price breaks below the EMA? So it has continued, it didn't retest this level. Mm, we will mark this level first. We don't need this. Let's have this here and 1 year. I'll try to cover as many touches as I can. So here you can see there is one, two, three, four, five clear touches to reverse. Now here you can see there was some consolidation to break this zone, but it is already breaking. And I think this can be a really good trade for us. Of course, we are trading against the daily EMA. We are going to trade against the daily EMA because sometimes you choose whether you want to trade against the daily EMA or not. It's your choice, of course. But we see based on support and resistance, not the dynamic support, which is EMA. Price comes down to this level and then continues up. Now, here we can see there's a large wick right here, but here there isn't. So sometimes the luck isn't with you and you get hit with your stop loss, but that's where win rate comes in and high risk to reward. Now you can also see this is the area where you would target for a profit right here because the price went up to this area and the worst. You don't want to be in a area, have your target right here because then you probably won't have that much profit. Now, what I want from price is it's as simple as this. Come up to this level. We are going to take similar trade like this. You can see I have already taken this trade. Yeah, in the past, on November, you can see the price reacted really nice and moved up. And that's what we want again from the price to retest this level and then move up to our target here. The 1 hour EMA is definitely not with us this time. The 30 is, moving in a trend. It's a straight line. Okay. So here's what I want. I want the price to come up, retest, and then go up. The target is going to be around this level. We'll try to cover the stop loss of these levels. You can see there are touches here. There are touches here. So we are going to target our stop loss below this if possible. I just want to see a break of structure above this. No, wait. No, I want to see a break of structure, of course, above this, retest this level. We'll keep a stop loss here because we are expecting a fast move. Whatever the lowest point of the current structure, for example, right here, the analysis was different because these structures didn't exist at that point. So what I want, if want to enter again, what I would do is I would enter in a position like this where this retest is happening. And when this breaks, I'm gonna put my stop loss around here. This this is how much my stop loss is going to be, and then the TP here, this will give us a higher risk to reward. So, even if this hits stop loss, it's one, but if it hits our TP, that's going to be more than maybe 1:3. So that is what we will look for. All right. So we have USD JPY this week. We are going to trade Euro USD new analysis again. You can see again this was done last week, but because of the gap up, we didn't see structure, and it went to the target exactly where my arrow is. This is what I do. This is where it went, and you can see there is a reversal. We'll delete this. Okay, let me make notes here as well so that you guys, if you have your charts up, just note this down. Or maybe this recording will be available by tomorrow. So you can watch it again, get this analysis in your charts. Okay. So here's a story. So this is kind of a story for me. I write it in a way that I want these stuff, and only then I enter. Break of the 4-hour resistance, then retest the level, or maybe retest the zone. Target 1 hour EMA in your stop loss, so that when the price goes up and it comes down, there might be some consolidation, and we might see 1 hour EMA close to us. So when we put a stop loss, we want something stronger with us. When the price comes around that level or it touches that level, we want the price to push up again. So your stop loss should be at a place where if it gets hit, then you have been completely wrong about that trade. That's it. And it's okay to be wrong about your trade, because your win rate is supposed to be around 40 to 60%, not more than that. Okay. Yasir, 1 second. Sorry, I just saw the message. Uh, Target 1 hour EMA in your SL. Okay, that's it. Now I have these EMA settings. These are first of all EMA 50. I'll just update this. So you can see I have EMA 200 as well, but that I rarely use. It's very rare for me. I use EMA 50. These are the inputs. The length is 50. Source is close, not open. Offset 0. Smoothing none. Nothing. It's basic. And you don't need to do anything different about these EMAs, because you know what happens is most of us is trying to fight with the market, and that's completely wrong. You don't need to fight with the market. All these Instagram reels and animated videos you see on Instagram, you see a person, a trader fighting with the market, but we never actually fight with the market. What we do is we trade with the market. All the profitable traders, they do this in a simple way. They see the candles, they see their price action, and they trade with the market. They trade with the people who are actually moving the market. 70% of the market is moved by institutions. So why do you want to fight with the market? It's as simple as that. We never fight with the market. We just accept what the market is doing, and we want to be a part of it. Euro USD, something similar. We have one USD JPY. So there's this one more thing. Never trade two pairs we have, which is going to move in a similar fashion. For example, even though the USD right here in Euro USD is in the denotion, which is the second type, first pair is Euro, but we have USD JPY already. If we are taking USD JPY, it's not it's not a problem to analyze. But once you have taken a trade on USD JPY, you are not supposed to enter Euro USD until it's beautiful, until you see a really beautiful trade. And just for a 1 is to 2 or 1 is to 3, don't risk that, because let's say you're taking a bearish trade on Euro USD and let's say you're taking a bullish trade on USD JPY. Now, they are supposed to move in that fashion. They are completely opposite, right? So USD is first, that means we are taking a bullish trade, and USD is second, that means it's we are taking a bearish trade. It's kind of a similar trade, even though the pairs have different second pair and first pair, but they are meant to do the same way. If one hits your stop loss, that means your analysis didn't work out. But that also means the second pair is also going to hit your stop loss. There are high chances of that happening. So never enter these kind of trades. Yasir, I hope that's clear. And this is not just about daily, weekly time frames. It's all the time frames I use, and it's the same in EMA. I just switch it up. And the time frames I don't really use for trading is 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. I use it for managing the trade and nothing else. The entries and everything is done on 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. That's it. Analysis sometimes 1 hour, 4 hour, but rarely 1 hour. 4 hour and daily time frame is the best thing to analyze. Weekly also I hardly look on it. Now all of these pairs moved in similar fashion. So I just delete again. I think we don't need GBP USD. It's kind of same for Euro USD. Let's do AUD JPY. You can see AUD JPY is clearly moving in a trend right now. I didn't see this before, but I'll show you. So in our next session, I'm going to teach you. If you don't know how to set up your trading view charts, just let me know. I have these tools available to me handy so that it's easy for us to pick it up and continue our analysis. So the goal right here is to capture as many touches as you can. And right now we are focusing on our candle closures because that is giving us a clear trend. If I started from here, then the price would seem like something like this. The trend line will go towards upside. But on the candle close, this looks great. We'll start from here actually, much cleaner. And what we'll do is we'll just create a channel where we see most of the touches. I never create a different angle line. Once this line is created, that is all for me. Okay. The highest point has been this. And this satisfies as well. You can see there is one touch, two touch. And right here, from just this line, you can see there is rejection. So again, we are not going to do something different out of this. It's very simple. You can see how price has reacted on these lines. And just like us detecting this trend, big institutions, every other person is doing it the same way. So why do things differently? It's so easy to read these charts. You can see right here what happens when the price goes below 4 hour EMA. It goes down, it is retesting this area, rejecting it. Then again from the trend line, it's going up. And once it goes up, that is it. It goes above till this area. It never entered back again to the entry point. This trade could have, like, once you open this trade, yeah, I think I have already opened this trade. If would have kept this long for long, you can see how much I could have made, even right here. Even though it entered till entry point, this one, which I closed on 1:1, never went back below, never closed a candle below my stop loss. Sorry, in my stop loss. So this is right here. The price has already done this again, retested the 4-hour EMA, broke it, and didn't come back to touch the line. Now, how often that is happening? Hmm. So we already missed the move right here. We already missed the move right here. What we'll do is we'll keep it for the upcoming weeks, where if we see a structure like this, we are definitely entering. I'll make it blue because this might happen at any point. Maybe next week or somewhere in this week, where you will see a break of this 4-hour EMA, retest that line, move down again, and then continue up. Once that happens, we'll take an entry like this. We'll take an entry like this. We'll take an entry like this. It's simple. Next, so okay, NZD USD. I don't want to do it. I'm not so much interested in this one right now. Mainly because you can see it's a rejection zone. A lot of consolidation in history. So why enter a pair where you can see it's not going to be clear? Maybe above this line somewhere, I might look for entry, but now I don't think so. The price has moved clearly up and it needs to create structure. It needs to start retesting these levels. This retest is important unless it's completely breaking above. XAG, we are not going to trade again because you can see it went almost, this was around 40% or something like that, but it is at 26%, minus 26%. And we have never seen a move like this. It is retesting the daily EMA. In past, this has happened, retest the EMA, price moved up. But this is just one candle doing this. I think I'll wait for the next week to do something. Not this week because it's very much scary. You can see how 4-hour time frame has made such big candles. And even if I try to put a stop loss, just imagine the way these candles are made. These are very small candles. Now, if you try to you take an entry, where would your stop loss be? This is the low point. This is your 1 hour stuff. And let's say above this area, I'm taking an entry. And should my stop loss be around this low? And if that is my entry, imagine I keep these trades on my screen for one simple reason. It's like a journal for me. And it also tells me how much stop loss should I put. These stop losses are giving me around 15,000 ticks. Okay, 15,070 pips. Now, 15,070 pips against 138,455 pips. That's like, I don't know when I'll hit my TP when the market normalizes. So rather, I'll wait for structures which are smaller in size, something like this. Only then we take entry. So XAG USD, we are not doing again. We have two pairs so far. USD CHF. Okay, let's remove this. Now in history, price, I'm seeing like this is where I can read it from 2003. And after that, in 2011, the price came down, and now the price is here again. It's a major support level. But here's what I'll tell you. When the price is moving down, like this, it's moving fast, right? It's moving fast. That also means there are high chances that price is going to go up, because the price is not consolidating, it's not creating structures, it's not creating support and resistance. If that is not happening with the price, that means you are not seeing people coming in. For a price to move down or up, you need more people coming in. When actions like this happen, there is definitely a reversal coming most of the times. But here you can see when the price started moving down, it is creating structure. It is creating structures and it is moving down in a smaller and slow pace, right? So here's what I look for. There's a very clear, structures right here on the weekly. Let's move this right here, and I'll call this weekly SR. Okay, weekly SR right here. Now move down to daily time frame. Weekly is bearish, daily is definitely bearish, and we never saw a retest on this line. And that happens, that's completely fine. Sometimes you don't get the trade, sometimes you get the trade. The only thing we can do is we can analyze, and if I'm not sure that price is going to do what I'm saying, but if price by any chance moves in the way I am saying, only then I'll take the entry. That's how you become profitable. That's how you start learning to analyze. Not every pair is going to react the same way you have predicted. Now we see there is a clear resistance right here, because this has acted as support. That also means there's a clear resistance. But what will happen if 4R goes up to here, right? If right now you can see this is the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and price right now is still bearish, and it might continue going down from the 4R EMA. I'll show you this. There's a touch right here and a continuation down. What happened? Like this was the first touch after the price went down from your breaking it. Right here as well, it resisted somewhat, but it created structures. It used it for continuation towards upside and then broke it again. A lot of retest on the 4R EMA, it went down. A retest on the 4R EMA, it went down. It was very clear. So what happens is, I know this is the possibility, but once I have analyzed the pair, I don't look at any other pairs, because that's a distraction. You should not be, even though you're not getting any trades in the week, once you have your analysis done, don't look back. That's it for you. Because once you start looking for the trades, you will try to see during the week, because there's so much pressure, you will see trades that don't exist at all. And that's where you start hitting losses. So we have this retest, we have this retest. So we can see the 4R EMA is respected very well. Now, what I want from price is one, this might happen or might not happen. First of all, price can move up to here and then give us a trade after 4R becomes bearish. Okay. Which is not going to happen very soon. So that's not a trade for us for this week. But I can see continuation on the 4R EMA. If that happens, if I see a rejection like this and break till the 1R EMA. Right now, 1R EMA is right here. So what will happen is, I'll tell you that 4R EMA price comes up. So along with it, 1R EMA is also going to come up, right? Now, when the price goes up and breaks down to below the 1R EMA with a great candle, only then we'll look for entry. on the break of 1 hour EMA. A retest of the 4-hour EMA, I'll note this down. Retest on the 4-hour EMA, break below 1 hour EMA, and you need a candle close on the 1 hour EMA. Okay, never believe until the candle has closed or 1 minute is left, because a lot of times you will see the price has moved real nice. This definitely was some kind of a break on the 1 hour EMA right here. But what happened next is price pulled down. So when whoever was entering, let's say this was higher high, sorry, lower high, lower low, and then this was nothing, then this is lower low, again this is lower high, sorry, higher high, because this structure was broken. This becomes higher high and this becomes the higher low. Now, for the price to continue again, you can see there's a lot of retest and everything. All right, I lost myself. I don't know what I was speaking about. I'm really sorry. Anyone? Why was I speaking about the lower low? Was anyone listening? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, 1 hour EMA, we need a break. I'm really sorry. I messed it up. Maybe I just lost myself somewhere. Price action, all of this, looking at the candles is I get lost in them. So 1 hour EMA, we need the break after the retest on the 4 hour EMA. It's very important that this happens in the order. 4 hour EMA, it's going up, retesting. 1 hour EMA, it's breaking below. And then on the low point, I'll definitely share an entry as well. But I want you guys to have these points, have everything on your charts as well. Because let's say if I miss the trade, I'm not there on the screen. You can tell me on Telegram that this is happening, or maybe you can choose to enter alone. That's what you can do. So make sure you have this on your charts and you look at price action, look at the candle closes. Don't need to look on every 15 minutes or 30 minutes. You can have your charts ready on the 1 hour time frame, and make sure. So I never set it based these candles, all of this stuff is based on UAE timing, because that is what I'm friendly with. So I see my candle closes on the 1 hour time frame basis on the UAE time. So this time is UTC plus 4. You can keep that setting as well. Now we have this ready. It's very clear. It is on the 4 hour EMA. We'll just mark this green because this might happen this week. So all the green stuff means this, keep a I keep an eye on this. Whichever is forming up, just do that. This I check like maybe once in a day, because the probability is low. So we have three pairs so far. AUD CAD. We'll see it on the weekly time frame. All right. Now these these are scaling up, creating wicks, and then going down. It's like a trend, right? So you might see some kind of reversal right here. Daily time frame is bullish. 4 hour is bearish, but it is retesting the EMA. And so far it has rejected that point. It's really clean. I know this looks like a reversal point, but the price has already created some structure, and you can clearly see some rejection from this area right here. Now, anyway, what we'll do is we'll mark our levels according to what we see fit. Now, we don't have anything right here. The 4 hour, if it flips, it has also reversed from here, flipped, it went back, retested, and went down. It took a lot of time right here, right? Hmm. Let's mark a resistance. So on the 2 hour time frame, I'm not doing it on the 4 hour time frame because I cannot see much structures right here. I don't see, I guess someone is drawing. Yeah. So I don't see much structures here. There's this touches, but it's not a clear resistance point. But on the 2 hour time frame or 1 hour time frame, it's showing clear structures. So what we'll do is we'll just put a line here. Okay. We'll mark it as 1 hour SR. So right now the price is continuing down to the 1 hour EMA. Now let's say if I enter on a position where price has broken up and it's retesting this level and going up, then definitely we have 1 hour EMA with us. We have the 4 hour EMA with us, somewhat with us, and the 2 hour EMA as well, right? So there's a lot of possibility that the price might go down. But here we see a lot of consolidation. We don't know what's going to happen. But as the daily time frame is bullish, 4 hour is bearish, but we want it in a way where we take an entry. 4 hour is bearish. I don't like that. Right. So here's what we'll do. We'll use this liquidity area. This is definitely a liquidity area because you can see the price came up right here, resisted, and then continued. So we'll wait for a price action, something like this again, something like this. Not this, no consolidation around this area, something exactly like this. So I want the price to go up to this liquidity level, retest, break the structure again. Once this structure is broken, again with a new high on the 1 hour time frame, we'll keep a stop loss on the low and then we'll take an entry. The TP will be around this level. Also note this. This is very important. When the price is, let's say the price didn't reject from here, it started moving up till here, and then the price came down to this level, and then it broke structure. Now, would you take an entry? Answer in the chat. I want you guys to answer, or maybe I'll just create a poll. I hope everyone has listened. If not, I'll just say it again. I'm creating a poll. If the price goes like this and goes below and then starts moving up to break the structure, would you take an entry? No, not after retesting or anything. This question is simple. Would you take an entry? Okay. Where's the poll thing? Create. I just upgraded my Zoom for you guys so that you don't have to go on Telegram and answer for the poll. You'll just get the poll right here. Okay, launch. I guess you have the poll on your screen now. Please answer. Two more people left. Please answer. Who do you take the entry? The price goes above to this area, not to this area, to this area, retesting this level, and then breaking structure. Would you take the entry? One person left. All right, we have it. Okay. So out of only one person said no, and five said yes. And here's where you guys are wrong. You would never take an entry right here. And the reason is very simple. If the price goes to this level, retest this level, we need the break of structure, right? To enter. Now, when there is a break of structure, let's say this is my entry point, my stop loss is going to be this big, and this is my TP. This is my TP. This is the target. That 0.55 is to reward. So even though you waited all this time for the price to do this, you can't. I'll also share the results. You can't take the entry. You can't take this entry at all. I hope that's clear. You can't take this entry just because your risk to reward is never going to match up. If you're taking this entry and this is your target, that means you're risking one just for a 0.55 profit. You're risking $100 for 55 to make $55. You should never be doing that. If you have any questions, you can ask. We'll just make this green. So we have four pairs right now, and all of these pairs, like even though USD CHF is right here, it's we are waiting for a bearish one right here on Euro USD. Okay, I didn't put text on this one. Yeah, I just put a text right here. Break and retest. That's it. The EMAs are with us. We are not trading against the EMA, so this should be fine. I don't know what I analyzed for Euro USD. Already forgot. No, like I'll check back from the recording. I don't remember all the stuff. I'm not gonna do it again. And great. So we have four pairs for us. We don't need a lot. I can go through all of these pairs, and it won't matter because at the end you don't need so many pairs to trade. What you want is few selective pairs you have analyzed correctly. You have paid to attention to every single detail, and that's it. You don't have to spend your weekend just looking at different pairs. What you need to do is select few pairs throughout the week. You only look, trades in them. You don't need a lot of pairs. There's also a reason, because let's say you have 7 pairs, 10 pairs ready for you, and now you're getting trades in around 3, 4 of them. Now, whatever news comes in, whatever is happening in the world, you have entered 3, 4 swing trade positions, and all of them start moving in a different way. They are creating wicks up, down. And when you're on a prop firm, or any, even if it's a broker, imagine 3 trades, 4 trades wicking you out. Nothing can be more painful than that. And if you're on a prop firm, you'll definitely breach the account. What you need in a swing trading environment is 1 or 2 trades throughout your week. That's it. You don't need more trades. That's it. Last week as well, you can see I entered USD CAD in the single day. We got 1:3. Gold was open before, last to last week, Thursday, we opened that trade. It ran till next Thursday, around 8 days. So, but we got a 1:6 plus, which is a good one. So that's how you trade. You don't enter too much positions. It's just you have to make money slowly. Now, if you have been following my $100 to $10,000 challenge, you know the initial was very slow. We were taking $30 trades, but now we have reached a balance of 1090. Imagine making a $1,000 from $100. It's actually around $1,100, and we are going to make more. So it's a life-changing skill which you are going to learn. I'll tell you, Yasir, what happens if you try to, you know, uh, use lower time frame for your stop loss. For what you need for lower time frame is for maybe managing risk, but that too rarely, sometimes, very rarely. Lower time frames, I think, are not suitable for any of it, because I'll tell you this. This price right here, you see a wick. This happened on the smaller time frame, right? And on this 4 hour time frame, you see a lot of wicks, right? These All of these happened on smaller time frame. Structure easily changes on smaller time frame. So if you try to put your stop loss or manage your trades based on smaller time frame, that means your chances of that SL getting hit is high. Now, last week on XAU USD, you can see I moved my stop loss based on higher time frames, based on clearly higher time frames, which is 1 hour time frame. First, my stop loss, I didn't put it until the price was here. I put it at around this level, break even, considering this was the low. Now, right here as well, I didn't put the stop loss unless price went around this area. Now, again, from here, you can see the price went on this area. Then I moved my stop loss around here. And I had to move my stop loss around here because I saw this momentum. I understood that something is going to happen. These candles are not possible. This is not easy. The price is coming to the 5,500 psychological level. So psychological levels are very important. When you see the price has hit the 5,500 level, now that also meant price is going to retrace. And that's why this stop loss was without 1 hour structure. This was without 1 hour structure. Else, I have moved my stop losses based on 1 hour time frame. You should be taking entries based on 1 hour time frame, 2 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame. I have actually taken trades based on 4 hour time frames. And when you start refining stuff, when you start refining based on lower time frame, what happens is you start losing a lot of trades. You don't want your psychology to mess up. The more losses you take, the more it's going to hit on your psychology, the more chances of you taking revenge trades. Of course, you should never revenge trade. I myself, I have, it's been very long since I revenge traded. It's been very long. If I take an SL, that's it for me. I just move away from the charts. So no matter what you're doing, don't use lower time frame for anything. You can just look it for to understand price action. You can see on the 15 hour. Yeah, probably. So on the 15-minute time frame, you can see this is what I analyze with them. what is it using to continue price action? That is all I use it for, to see what kind of structures is happening, what kind of things they are doing. For example, there is a reason why my stop loss was exactly right here. You can see right here, there was price action, and I only read price action, that's it. You can see the price was right here and it opened a gap up. And what it did was it rejected from this 15-minute time frame and on from the higher high of this day, nothing else. It touched this high and went up. Now I was expecting a similar moment because again, you can see this is not the high of the day, but this is where the price closed and price opened in the gap up, and you can see it touched this price and then moved up. So these were the reasons behind my stop losses as well. But it was not lower time frame, it was more of the structures it is creating, the kind of price action it is doing. You can always use them for price action, but not for literally managing trades. And once we are here, you can do anything because now your stop loss is like, if you're covering 1 is to 5 plus, then you use 15 minute, you use 5 minute, I don't care. I mean, you're making money. But unless you haven't, don't use the lower time frame. So I guess that is it. This is it. If you have any more questions, anyone, Yasir, really great. You have been asking a lot of questions. I love that. If are there any questions you want me to answer, you can just ask. Or we end the session here and we'll come back on Monday. We'll start learning. You will start learning what I know. I'll probably, I don't have a fixed roadmap till now. I'm just planning more and more. So by tomorrow, we'll have a roadmap, and according to that, we'll proceed each day what we are going to learn. And the classes are going to be more than maybe 1 hour, sometimes, rarely, but there's a possibility that it might take more than 1 hour. And the reason behind it is there are going to be questions. A lot of you will not understand some things. And for that, I won't be like, I'm just disconnecting the call. I'll make sure that you learn everything. You learn the way I learned. I guess no questions. We have our analysis done and there will be a recording available tomorrow. So make sure you check that. I'll also update my chart on Euro USD after I've seen the video itself. How do I stop the recording? Okay. Pause. Wait.